The air hit different on private runways. Clean, quiet, controlled. My sneakers thudded against the aluminum steps. Each step louder than it should have been in all that silence. Hoodie up, backpack slung low, I moved like I had a right to be there, even though my gut already told me someone was about to test that dot, and there she was, dot blonde bun, navy blazer. Clipboard clutched like a badge. Chelsea, can I help you? Her tone was clipped like I was an unexpected delivery. I nodded. Once. Yeah, I'm boarding. For who? She didn't even glance at the manifest. For me? That was when her eyes flicked down to my hoodie, my shoes, my skin. Then right back up like I was a glitch in her system. For you? She echoed. Like she hadn't heard, right? I kept my hands in my pockets, but I felt them curl. That's what I said. Her lip curled barely, but enough. She scribbled something on the clipboard, then looked over my shoulder like someone would show up. And explain me away. I'll need the name of the actual passenger you're here with. I almost laughed. Almost Elijah. Elijah Reed. Her pen froze. Her eyes narrowed. She didn't check the clipboard. I'm sorry, we don't allow stowaways. That word, stowaway. My jaw locked. I forced my voice low, steady. Move out. Of the way, or I'll call the pilot. She smirked. Actually smirked. And tell him what? That you snuck past security in designer sneakers? Behind me, the guard shifted, not forward, not to stop her. Just enough to let me know he was watching. But not for her. Chelsea lifted her headset. I need verification for a boarding issue. Someone's trying to get on unauthorized. Someone? She turned slightly like I wasn't even worth describing. A young man, not on the manifest. My mouth dried. My stomach was already tight, but now it was burning. I took a breath. This your normal energy for every passenger, or just the black ones? Her smile didn't fade. Sir, please step away from the aircraft. Before I could respond, a voice called out from above. Elijah! I looked up. Captain Wells, bald, tan, grinning like it was a regular Tuesday. Finally, man, I was wondering what the holdup was. I didn't look at her face yet. I wanted to let it marinate. He bounded down the steps, hand outstretched. Come on in, we're ready for you. I shook his hand, still staring at her. Chelsea. Blinked twice. You're Elijah? That's what I said. Her lips parted, no sound came out. Captain Wells raised a brow. Is there a problem? No, sir. I just didn't realize. I stepped forward, past her, shoulders square. You didn't realize someone like me could own the damn jet. She didn't answer, didn't have to. The silence was louder than anything else, and I let it sit. I sank into the leather, smooth, cold, too clean, like it was never meant to remember people like me. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of seeing me shaken, but my chest was still tight. Captain Wells leaned down. Want me to file something? He asked, voice low. I looked straight ahead. No? You sure? Because I can put in a report. I don't want paperwork. I want her to get it. He didn't say anything else. Just nodded and headed toward the cockpit. A second later, I heard the footsteps, stiff ones, careful ones. The kind of steps people use when they know they've messed up but don't want to show it. Would you like something to drink? Chelsea's voice was soft. Too soft, I didn't look at her right away. I said. She repeated, would you like something to drink, sir? Now I looked. What changed? Her throat twitched. Excuse me? You couldn't see me an hour ago. Now you're asking if I want a beverage? She folded her hands in front of her, tight, like she was holding something back. I just didn't realize who you were, I nodded slowly. And who am I? She blinked fast. Mr. Reed. The manifest listed Elijah Reed as the guest. I leaned back. Let the silence stretch. You mean, I said, you didn't think I could be the one in charge? That's not what I... Don't lie to me on my own jet. She looked around. Like maybe someone would save her. Maybe Marcus would walk in and break the tension. Maybe Captain Wells would yell her name from the front. Nobody did. It was just a misunderstanding, she said quickly. I tilted my head. A protocol issue, right? Yes, we have rules that kick in when a black kid shows up alone. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. I stared at her. I wanted to see her try to piece her way out of it. I wanted her to realize she couldn't Did you think I was a rapper's assistant? She blinked again. A last-minute guest? Some random friend trying to sneak on? No, the help? I didn't know who you were. No, you assumed who I wasn't. The plane was too quiet. The kind of quiet where your heartbeat feels like thunder in your ears? Mine was still fast. She took a shallow breath. It's just unusual. There it was. Unusual? I echoed. She nodded. To see someone so young, in this position, it caught me off guard. You mean it's unusual to see someone like me in this seat? She didn't answer. She didn't have to. Her silence wasn't blank. It was full. Full of all the things she wouldn't say but absolutely believed. Her voice broke the stillness, barely above a whisper. I didn't mean to offend you, I laughed under my breath. No humor in it. You didn't mean for me to notice. That's different. I was doing my job. No, you were doing your version of the job. The one where people like me don't make it on your list of possibilities. She took a step back. I didn't think. Exactly. You didn't think, you reacted, and your reaction was to block me from something that already had my name on. I've served a lot of people. I bet you have. Race had nothing to do with it. I raised both eyebrows. Still lying? I'm not, Chelsea. Look at me. She did. If I had walked up wearing a suit and tie but still black, would it have made a difference? She hesitated. Then, maybe, and if I was white, wearing exactly what I had on? This time she didn't answer. I nodded again. Thanks. For confirming. She looked like she wanted to cry, but I wasn't handing her a tissue. I'm not a bad person, she said quietly. That's the problem. Y'all think racism lives in bad people, but it lives in regular ones too, ones who smile while shutting doors. She stood there, fists clenched at her sides. You can go now. I said. She didn't move, unless you want to double check. The passenger list again. Still, nothing. You're dismissed. Then she turned and walked out, shoes whispering against the carpet like they didn't want to admit where they'd been. The hum of the engines was constant, steady, almost calming if it weren't for the pressure boiling under my skin. 38,000 feet in the air, and somehow I still felt looked down on. I watched her move. Polished, efficient, polite. To everyone else, not me. Not since the captain said my name and made it impossible to ignore who I was. She hadn't met my eyes since takeoff. I let it simmer. Let her pretend for a while. Then I pressed the button. She flinched when the light above me blinked on. I didn't speak when she arrived. Just looked at her. Long enough for the silence to stretch. She cleared her throat. Yes, sir? I want to ask you something. She straightened. Of course. What did you see when I stepped on that plane? She blinked. Sir? You heard me. Her eyes darted toward the front. I knew Captain Wells was standing there, close enough to hear but far enough to pretend he wasn't. She took a breath. I saw a young man. That's it? Her voice got smaller. In sweats, hood up, no luggage. I nodded, and? She hesitated, and it didn't look right. I finished for her. She swallowed. It didn't look like someone who was meant to board. Didn't look rich enough. She opened her mouth, closed it. Her hands clasped behind her back. I just thought, stop thinking. Start seeing. Her eyes flicked to mine, then away. I didn't mean offense. You didn't mean to get caught. Silence again. Only the engine noise filling in the space where honesty should have been. If I were white, I said slowly. Same clothes, same attitude, same everything, would you have stopped me? She didn't answer. I leaned forward. You can't even say it. You can't even face it. She took a half step back. I didn't think about your race. Liar. Her face twisted slightly. I didn't. Yes, you did. You didn't think I was dangerous. You just thought I didn't belong. Her voice cracked. I wasn't trying to insult you. You were trying to protect a space that didn't need protecting. I stood, walked past her toward the galley, stopped, turned back. I wear what I want because I can. I don't need to dress up for people like you. I'm not here to convince anyone I'm worthy. She nodded faintly, eyes wet but still defensive. I didn't expect someone like you to be the owner. She said finally, someone like me? I said it flat, no emphasis, no drama. Just made her hear it. She looked down. You don't see what that means, do you? I asked her. She whispered. It means I was wrong. No, it means everything you believe about status, success, power. All of it was built without people like me in mind. So, when someone like me shows up, your first instinct is to question it. Captain Wells shifted behind her. Still silent, I walked past her. Back to my seat, I didn't press the call button. Again. She came back on her own. I'm sorry, she said. I looked at her. Don't say it to make yourself feel better, she paused. Then nodded. I'll remember this. Good, next time, see the person before you decide where they fit. She walked away slower than before. No performance this time, and I sat there, watching the clouds slide by, thinking about how small the world really is at 38,000 feet, and how far some people still had to go. The jet hit a dip, not big, but enough to make the glasses rattle and Chelsea grip the wall. She stumbled near the aisle, caught herself, smoothed her blazer like nothing happened. I didn't move. Marcus stood steady in the galley, cool as always. He glanced at me, then at her, and then he smiled, not wide. Just enough. She should know, he muttered under his breath. Not even looking at her. Chelsea blinked. Know what? That he owns the plane, Marcus said casually, like it was weather talk. Her eyes snapped to mine, like the words couldn't be real until she confirmed them with a stare. You own it? I didn't answer. Marcus wiped the glass with a towel. Elijah Reed, you ever seen that name on the Forbes under 30 list? She didn't respond. She just stood there like her feet had been nailed to the floor, inherited it. Upgraded the hell out of it, youngest private jet owner on this route. Chelsea's mouth moved, but nothing came out, not shock anymore. Just silence. That stunned kind, the kind where you realize your whole worldview missed something obvious. She turned away. Didn't even say anything. Just walked off toward the galley like she needed to be out of sight for a second. I didn't chase her. I let the truth do what it needed to. When she came back, her hair was neater. Her face looked scrubbed. She stood straighter like she wanted to start over. She stopped near my seat and cleared her throat. I just wanted to say, I looked up. Slowly. Why didn't you say something sooner? I actually laughed. Sharp. Bitter. Why should I? I mean, if I'd known, no. She froze. I sat forward, hands locked between my knees. Don't finish that sentence. You were about to say, if I'd known who you were, I would have treated you better. I didn't mean you didn't serve me because I was unknown, but also because I was black. Don't deny it. She swallowed. I can't. That sat between us for a beat. Good. That's not how I meant for it to come across. You sure? Because I didn't ask you for anything that day except to step aside. She didn't blink. She just stared, pale, and you looked at me like I'd walked onto the wrong planet. I made a mistake. No, you made a choice. Her fingers twisted against each other. I was just doing my job. You were protecting a space you didn't think I belonged in. That's not fair. Neither was how you looked at me. She didn't argue. I tilted my head. You thought I was some random kid? Maybe someone sneaking on? Maybe a favor passenger? Maybe a threat? I don't think you're a threat. Not now. She flinched. But when I walked up that stairway, you didn't see me as a person. You saw a problem. I swear, I didn't mean you meant exactly what your silence said. She opened her mouth. I raised a hand. Don't. She stopped. I leaned back. Do you know how many times I've walked into rooms like this? Rooms with polish and glass and quiet voices? Do you know how many times I've been told I'm early or lost or just ignored? No, exactly. You don't, because you've never had to wonder if you belonged. She looked at the floor. I watched her. Watched the gears turn, the breath shake, and I said it clear. This plane isn't mine because I worked harder. It's mine because I refuse to let people like you tell me where I don't fit. She looked up. I'm not asking for your respect, I said. Just your honesty. She nodded once, and for the first time since I boarded, she looked like she actually saw me. I watched her move across the aisle like nothing had happened. Like we were just two people flying at 38,000 feet, sharing the same air without sharing the same history. She poured drinks, smiled at the couple in the back, nodded. At Marcus, like the turbulence had shaken the past off her shoulders. It hadn't. I leaned back in my seat and closed my eyes for a second. But peace didn't come. I didn't want revenge. I wasn't interested in yelling or tearing her down. That was easy. I wanted something harder, real. I wanted her to hear herself. So I pressed the call button. She came over quickly, smiling, polished, practiced. "Yes, Mr. Reed." I pointed to the seat across from me. "Sit." She froze. "Just a second." Then obeyed. Straight-backed, hands in her lap. "I'm not angry," I said. "But I'm not finished either." She nodded once. "Understood." I waited. Let the silence stretch. "Say it." Her eyebrows pulled together. "Say what?" "What you did." Her eyes dropped. "I didn't move." She exhaled. "I misread the situation." "That's not it." "I assumed." "No, I judged you." Louder. Her voice trembled. "I judged you." "Still not done." She looked up, face pale. "I profiled you." I nodded once. "I assumed you didn't belong." "And why?" Her lips tightened. Eyes shimmered. "Because you're black," she whispered. I stayed still. Let it hit. Let her feel the weight of her own words. "And?" I asked. She hesitated, and I'd never seen a young black jet owner before. The silence after that was thick, not awkward, not tense, just true. I stared at her. No hate in my chest. Just fire. Fire that had been burning a long time before her. "You're going to remember this flight more than any other." She nodded. I leaned forward. "You judged me because of everything you've been taught, seen, and absorbed without even knowing. It wasn't just a mistake. It was a reflection." Her eyes were glassy now. "I didn't mean..." "I know you didn't. That's the problem. You didn't have to mean it for it to do damage." She pressed her lips together like they might split if she opened them again. "I don't need your guilt. I need your clarity. I see it now. No, don't just see me. See the system that made you react that way in the first place." "I do? Then fix what's in your control. Every room you enter, every name you check, every voice you listen to." "I will." I stood. "You can go." She stood too, slow, like she wasn't sure she should. Then she turned and walked back toward the galley without a word. This time, I let her go. The seatbelt sign pinged as we started our descent. The cabin dimmed slightly, but my thoughts stayed sharp. My knuckles were still resting on the armrest, calm now, but not at peace. Marcus leaned in from across the aisle. "You handled that." "Smooth." I glanced at him. I didn't want to drag her. I just needed her to hear herself. He gave a slow nod, respectful. "Still, most people would have blown up." "I used to." "Didn't change anything." He tapped the side of his temple. "That's why you up here now." Before I could reply, I heard the soft steps, hesitant, light, like she didn't want to make noise even though the engines already drowned everything out. Chelsea stopped beside my seat, hands pressed together. I know I don't deserve to ask you anything." I didn't say a word. Just looked at her. She took a breath. "But my niece, she follows you. She's studying business. She watches your talks, reads your posts. She's 16. Thinks you're a genius." I stayed still. "She begged me to take a photo if I ever met you. And I didn't even know who you were when I..." Her voice cracked. She cleared her throat. "I know it's wrong of me to ask, after everything, but would it be okay to take one, just for her?" I raised an eyebrow. "Is it for her?" Her eyes widened. "Yes, or is it to prove you met me? Post and polish the moment to scrub off the mistake?" Her cheeks went red. Not with anger. With embarrassment, guilt. She didn't answer right away. "That told me more than words." "I understand," she said softly. "You don't have to say yes. I'll tell her the truth, that I met you. That I almost didn't recognize greatness, because I was too busy assuming things. I'll tell her all of it." I tilted my head. "All of it?" She nodded. "Every mistake." I watched her hands. Still shaking, not fake shaking either, not performative regret. It looked like someone who finally realized what their silence cost. "All right," I said. She blinked. "You'll do it? One condition." She straightened. "I'll take the picture. But when you post it, wherever you post it, I want the caption to say, This is Elijah. And I judged him before I knew him. Her breath caught. I want your niece to see the truth, not just the smile. She deserves the full story. She nodded hard. Yes, absolutely. And don't crop your face out of it. I won't. I stood. She reached into her pocket for her phone, slowly, like she still thought I'd changed my mind. Marcus gave me a look, not proud. Not surprised? Just that quiet kind of respect that doesn't need words. Chelsea stepped closer. Thank you. Don't. Thank me, I said. Just remember me. The flash went off once. I sat back down, the cabin tilted slightly, wheels dropping, ground coming closer. I looked out the window, let her carry the weight now. The tires hit the runway with a low thud, and the pressure in my chest eased. Not because it was over, but because I had made it through without shrinking. The stairs lowered with a soft hiss. I stood, adjusted my hoodie, and stepped out into the light. The sun caught my face, not too bright, just enough to make me squint. I walked down slow, steady. Like every step mattered. I didn't speak, didn't need to. There were cameras near the edge of the tarmac. Press, maybe? Probably not here for me, but I didn't flinch. I walked like they should have been. Marcus followed behind me. He stretched and called out, "Boss, want me to handle the luggage?" I didn't turn. No, let her. I heard the pause, the small shuffle behind me. Then her footsteps. Chelsea came around the back of the plane, my bag held carefully in both hands, like it was fragile. Like she finally understood what it meant to carry something that wasn't hers. She didn't say anything at first. Just placed the bag into the trunk of the black SUV waiting at the curb. Then she turned. "I'll never forget what you said." I looked her in the eye, calm, not cold. "Then don't just remember it. Live it." She blinked fast, like the sunlight. Stung. She nodded. No excuses, no apologies. Just silence. I nodded back once. Small, final. The driver opened the door for me. I got in without looking back. The door shut, and somehow, the air felt different behind the glass. Not cleaner, not safer, just clearer. The studio lights weren't as harsh as I expected. Warm, low hum in my headphones. Mic close to my mouth like it knew I had something to say tonight. The host leaned in with a grin. "So Elijah, ever dealt with racism in, the kind of places people don't expect it?" I didn't blink. "Luxury spaces?" He added. "Private jets, 5-star hotels that whirled?" I smiled, not wide. Just enough to let the weight sit behind my words. "Last week." His eyebrows jumped. "Private jet," I said. "Flight crew thought I didn't belong." He straightened. Wait, someone tried to remove you from your own plane?" They didn't try to remove me, but they made it real clear they didn't think I was supposed to be there. And one of them learned quickly. He leaned forward like he wanted details. "What did you say to her?" I looked into the mic like it was the woman's face. I told her, "Next time ask my name before assuming my place." Silence. Then a low whistle from the booth. The host chuckled, but it faded fast. "Man, that's cold." "No," I said, "that's clarity." He nodded slow. "You ever get tired of having to explain yourself in rooms you already earned a seat in?" I shrugged. "I don't explain anymore. I just exist." And if that's not enough for them, then they were never listening anyway. He leaned back. "That's power." "No," I said again. "That's survival." We sat in that quiet for a beat. Then I leaned in closer. "You never know who's flying the plane until you stop judging the passenger." He froze. That was the line. He knew. I knew it. The red light on the mic blinked off, and for once I didn't feel the need to say more.